Hi guys, and welcome to the One Man Army Artillery Guide for World of Tanks. In this episode I'll be showing you tips and tricks for artillery if you're a new player or an experienced player, ways to handle scouts, leading your target, all the kind of stuff you need to know. I'll be using this, which is my GWE 100, which is a tier 10 artillery. And yep, so let's get going. For this episode, Fukuraptor will be my test dummy for the person I'm trying to shoot at sometimes, and for if he's attacking me as a scout, how to avoid and how to deal with scouts when they attack you. Yep, so first thing you want to do when you enter a battle is look at your surroundings. So usually artillery will start on the same place on each map and will all be grouped together somewhere separate. So if you notice, down here, follow the cursor. This is where we are. This is where most people start on this map. This is where artillery starts. A lot of people on this map, enemies will be coming through there. Scouts will often try to push through here. So your best bet is probably to hide somewhere up behind here, or even maybe head up behind the base. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, relocate. Alright, now that we're up behind the buildings again, you want to get in a good position. Behind buildings generally isn't good. For instance, specifically if you went right in here, that's not a good spot because artillery will be able to pick you in that spot. And there's my test subject. So he's just going to sit there and not shoot at me, hopefully. Anyway, so when you're picking your spot, generally you want to look for a bush. But in this situation, you're covered behind the buildings, and your closest enemies are going to be somewhere around here. So you're kind of covered by these buildings. You want to be a bit back from the buildings because see, for instance, if I aim forward, see how the gun shoots in an arc like that? If you're too close to the building, even though it will show that you're aiming over here somewhere, it'll hit the building and it can actually kill you. So just watch out for that. Alright, so first thing, once you've got your position, you press Shift. And Shift will put you into this mode, which is the top-down overhead mode. From this, you can scroll in or out um, to look at enemy targets, or to look at enemy targets, or yeah. So you can see a very far distance with artillery. At low tier artillery, you won't be able to see all the way across the map. If you see the green circle, this is the aiming reticule. So this gets smaller the longer you stay in the same place, and if I fire a shot, it will land somewhere within that circle, usually somewhere close to the middle. Now, the shot takes a bit of time. After you fire it, this aiming reticule will expand. Yeah, it'll expand to basically its maximum size, and you'll have to wait in a place for it to get small again. Then, depending on how far away you are, it'll take a certain amount of time for the shot to come and hit the ground. So you have to plan for that if you're shooting a moving target. Also, if you move the aim around rapidly, the aiming reticule gets a lot bigger and you have to wait for it to circle in on its target again before you can fire. Also, even if you keep that stationary, but if you notice in the bottom left hand corner, if you start turning the tank left and right like this, it'll move the aiming reticule. So you have to stay steady. If you move with the mouse sideways, if you notice these black squares, if you move far enough sideways that the gun goes outside those black squares, your entire tank will automatically turn so that you can keep aiming there. If you don't want it to do that because it increases your aim, press X and this little exclamation mark will come up, and that means the tank doesn't turn by itself and you have to press WASD to move the tank around. That way it helps you to aim. If you are, for instance I just pressed shift just then, if you are quite close, if you're trying to shoot quite close, the aiming reticule will look really elongated like this. That is because the shell, because it's closer, you'll be landing somewhere like that. But the further away you get, the more circular it becomes. So at your optimal distance, which is somewhere over here, for me it should be a perfect circle. Well, not perfect, no, nothing's perfect, but it should be a circle. Now, if I go, for instance, And now I'll show you about shooting a target. So I'll just fast forward to the next position. Okay, so now that I'm in this position, I'm going to show you the mechanics of shooting an enemy target. So first of all, when you're in this view, which most people like to call TD mode, or Tank Destroyer mode, you can shoot directly, but often it is very, very inaccurate. You can also lock on like that, but it's not advised, because the aim is very hard, and even if you move slightly, the aim gets really large. So you can only go Tank Destroyer mode at very close range. At this distance, press shift and go into this range. If you'll notice, this circle in the middle of your aiming reticule is the middle. It's the very middle. If you put it on top of a tank, it will automatically move to the back to compensate the height of the tank. So if it's on its turret, it's like that. If I put it on its hull, it moves to compensate the height of the tank. This is to automatically place it, because the shell doesn't fire straight in a line, it fires in an arc. So keep that in mind, that if you're trying to aim at someone, don't aim just in front, because that means it's very likely that it's going to land somewhere on the ground in front of them. And if you aim slightly behind them, then it's still going to hit, they're still likely it could hit here. So aim on their tank, and it will automatically compensate for it, because that means it's not going to hit anywhere back here, it's going to hit their tank, because their tank is blocking you from up there. So if I were to fire right now, it would kill him. But I want to show you what it looks like to take down a scout when they are attacking you. So, Fukuraptor, if you would please move towards me and attack me. Now, when a scout is attacking you, you'll need to keep moving constantly, because once you're spotted, an enemy artillery will see you, and they will start to shoot at you. You want to back away from the scout and predict their movements. So predict that they will come out from behind a building and shoot. If you can, shoot at the ground. Because artillery does lots and lots of splash damage, which means that even if you miss them, if you hit the ground near them, it will either track them or kill them, and if it's a scout, most of the time it will kill them. So when taking down scouts, always aim for the ground, and usually go Tank Destroyer mode if they're any kind of close distance. Back away from them and try to get them close to buildings or close to something that you can shoot so you can splash damage them. Also try to lure them into places where they can't come at you from all directions. They have to come at you from behind some kind of wall or something, so you can predict where they're going to appear. And do not waste your shot by firing too early. Wait until they're close enough and that you've got good aim before you can fire and shoot. If all else fails, try ramming them. That might work. Now, so that was World of Tanks Artillery Guide. Please thank our test subject and co-host Fukuraptor.
You're welcome.
So there are tons and tons of artillery. They're fun at all levels, and most people hate them in World of Tanks because they just do so well. So don't be one of the people who hates
Yes.
against artillery. Be one of the people who plays artillery and gets lots of kills. Anyway, that was One Man Army's Artillery Guide. Hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button and we'll watch some more of my videos, and I'll
See
catch you
you
all
all
next.
next time.
You stole my line.